applying for a CPA account. Applying for an account at one of the many networks is not a difficult thing. It can sound intimidating and actually is a bit more involved than, say, something like ClickBank or even Commission Junction. I'm going to go ahead and take you through the process. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to one of the more popular ones. Oops, I'm sorry about that. Hydra is not located at hydra.com. Okay. Okay, hydranetwork.com. Okay, so essentially you go to wherever it is that you want to sign up for, and they're all going to be laid out a little bit differently, but we're looking here to be an affiliate, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And we'll wait. I think that you'll also find that once you are a member of multiple networks, that a lot of times the back end is very, very similar, even though, of course, sometimes the appearance might be a bit different. Okay, so here we go, sign up. Now, of course, you can learn more about their service over here, but I'm going to go ahead and hit sign up to show you the beginning process here. Okay, apply right now. So they're going to need my email address, and I'll come up with a password. Pretty standard stuff. But let's move down here. One thing they ask for is your AIM screen name. Now, you've probably heard of that. It's instant messaging through a free service that AOL provides. Even if you're not an AOL member, I suggest that you go out and get an AIM account, because you're going to find that CPA networks, they're really big with AIM, and it's really important that you are accessible to your affiliate manager. So if you do this, it can actually, it's going to be a plus in your favor. Sometimes, see, what happens is there is an unfortunate amount of fraud in the CPA networks, and they need to protect themselves, and they do screen. They want to make sure that you're a legitimate person, and oftentimes people that are doing shady things, they're not going to want to be contacted on AIM or be talking on the phone. So simply by doing those things, you're going to help yourself seem a lot more appealing in their eyes. Okay, so what type of person are you? A business or an advertising network? Of course, you're a business or an individual. I'm going to assume that that's what you are. How would you plan on publishing? Okay, well, that's really up to you. Do you have a website? If you do, or if you're going to be making one, then you might be having banners and pop-ups. Maybe you don't want to check that one, because pop-ups can be a bit intrusive, and sometimes the CPA networks, they don't like that. So there'll be specific offers that say pop-ups not allowed. So you know what? Don't check that one. Text links is certainly okay. Pay-per-click, we're going to talk about that in a bit, but pay-per-click is something that the networks like to hear that you do. Do you plan on having your site come up in the search engines? Or are you going to be emailing things? Now, again, if you're going to be doing emailing, only check this if you are an experienced emailer. If you are not, don't go ahead and check that, because they're going to have all kinds of questions for you, like, how do you get your list of emails? Are you sure that they're opted in? And if you're just starting out, you might not be able to answer those questions comfortably. So just, you don't have to be checking that, so don't. Okay, your primary publishing channel. Okay, and again, that's going to be, one of these here. Are you going to be displaying it on your site? Are you going to be getting sites to come up in the search engines? Are you going to be working with email? You can pick that here. How do you plan to promote the network campaigns? I would suggest that you put something in here that states, of course, I'm not saying that you want to lie. I'm saying that you want to let them know that you're willing to do whatever it takes, of course, to give this a try. Whatever experience you have in the affiliate marketing industry, make sure that you put that in a positive light. If you're new, I'm not saying that you should lie, but one good thing would be to say that a pay-per-click is one way that you can use to go out there and find offers that are profitable. You see a lot of other people doing it in the networks, and figure you can go in and do it too. You look forward to learning the offers that they have, speaking with an affiliate manager, and basically taking things forward. I would put something like, familiar with pay-per-click and being able to generate traffic on demand, just looking for offers that will fit the markets that I'm looking into. You want to make yourself sound smart, is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, website URL. This is a big one. If you don't have any websites, then you might have a bit of a stumbling block because they do like to see that you have a website. If you don't, actually we're going to talk in a future video about getting a website for a low cost that you can then, of course, acquire. That's yours. If you don't have one, you can say that that's okay. When you talk to affiliate managers, just really push the fact that doing pay-per-click, you don't really need a website. All you need is a landing page, and you can make landing pages. But pay-per-click is your main source of promotion. You can also say, and I say this, that even though I don't have a site in the health market, I plan on creating websites to match the offers that I decide to promote. Because it makes sense, because then of course you get in there and you find an offer that you like, and then you take the time to build a website that's going to be a perfect fit for what they have. Okay, monthly uniques. How many uniques does your site get a month? And again, I'm not saying that you should lie, but if these, I think that this here is impressive. If this is your answer, you're going to really have to make sure that you communicate to them that you're going to be generating traffic outside of your website, because honestly they get all these applications every single day, and if you're only going to be making them a small amount of money, they're going to pass you off to go to somebody else. So you really need to make sure that you show them that you have a lot of potential in yourself, even if you don't have a website that has a ton of views. Okay, how did you hear about the network? That's self-explanatory. Okay, now the tax classification. If you are just an individual person who has a regular job, or is at home, and this is not your big business thing, then you're going to be an individual or sole proprietor. Of course, this isn't official legal advice. This is just my suggestion to you and me talking about how I started out. Because what you can do is you can just have your tax ID just can be your social security number. And they need this because they're going to be paying you, hopefully, a lot of money, and they need to be sharing this with the government. You need to be sharing it with the government. It's the law. So your social security number needs to go here. Now, of course, that can be a bit of a shock for people because it's a very personal thing, but and this is a reason why you should be using only the the most legit CPA networks. Don't use ones that you never heard of before, that people had never heard of before. These big companies like Hydra, you don't have to worry because they're good companies, and to do these things, you're going to need to give them this information. It's just the way that it is. If you say I'm not comfortable sharing that, guess what? You're not going to be approved. That's just the way that it is. Okay, I would suggest reviewing these terms and conditions just so you understand what the deal is here. I think that you'll find that once you've read one, the other ones are going to be pretty similar. And you check that you agree, fill in this CAPTCHA here and submit, and that's it. You've just submitted your initial application. That's the first step. Now the next step is going to be that an affiliate manager is going to get in contact with you just to talk further about your application, find a bit more about you and how you would fit into their network. You want to go out and submit to multiple networks, because when I first started out, I did not get accepted to every single one, and it's not a big deal. What I did was, after I gained some more experience, I went back to the ones that I didn't get into, and I knew more of what to say. I knew more of how to be able to say, hey, you know what, I've made such and such a lot of money, I'd like to give you a chance. That's going to show them that you know what you're doing. So if you sit down and go to a couple and you don't get in, that's okay. Just go to a couple more. You're going to get in somewhere, so don't worry about that. You just gotta present yourself in the best light. So I hope that information helped you. In the next video, I'm going to sum things up and just share more about tips and advice on getting into these networks.